I am in Radebeul, Germany, today at Koenig Bauer Sheetfed Solutions, which is the plant, the production site of Koenig Bauer, where all the offset sheetfed presses come into life. I'm with Oliver Baar today. Thanks, Oliver, for having me.
Well, thank you for having the interview, Lorenzo. Thank you.
The reason of my visit today is the official launch of the VariJET 106, which is your new baby, your new fully digital sheet-fed press for the folding carton market, for the packaging market. So it's impressive. I just saw it. It's a big baby. It's beautiful. Same design of your new Rapidas.
Thank you, Lorenzo. For us, it's also a very, very special moment in the end. For us, it's the first time we show the VariJET 106 to the worldwide press, and also in terms of our open house to our customers. And for us, it's very special because the VariJET 106 is a real joint venture product. It is a real team approach. It's best out of two worlds. So we're utilizing Durst Inkjet technology. We're using also Koenig Bauer fluid technology for primers. We're using Durst inks, which are formulated for a VariJET 106. We incorporate this on a solid Rapida 106 platform and have also technology we take out of the VariJET in terms of the erase, which we put on a high precision belt. So this is a real joint venture product, a team approach, best in class technology to build a leading folding carton press.
Leave me a curiosity. I was wondering before why you made it so tall. What's inside this black big tower?
Well, this is more as a combination we have out of the Rapida platform, the solid leading sheet-fed press on the market, a high precision belt, and then we took the corrugated arrays, as I said, and we took on top of it. In order to have access in terms of serviceability, the arrays have to lift a bit, so therefore we have this relatively high tower, which gives the press a height of roughly 4 meters.
Today we are talking not just of a new product, not just of a new press. Let me start from this point, but even of a joint venture, the ones between Koenig Bauer and Durst, that apparently speeded up a lot the development of VariJET 106. So what kind of animal is Koenig Bauer Durst, and to what extent it involved you and Mike Laubin, your colleagues at Koenig Bauer? How did it change your personal and your professional path?
So, well, first, personally, I'm coming out of the Koenig Bauer company. So, personally, I already quit at Koenig Bauer and started a new job within Koenig Bauer Durst to be the product manager here in Koenig Bauer Durst. I see a lot of advantage in this and a lot of potential also in this collaboration between Koenig Bauer and Durst, because Koenig Bauer has expertise for high precision, high performance offset solutions, but also some digital solutions. If we talk about flooring decorates, for example, in terms of RotaJet, my product I had before within Koenig Bauer. And we have Durst Technology, a leading company in inkjet technology, data distribution, workflow, and together we formed this joint venture to bring the VariJET 106 onto the market. And now today, as I already mentioned, it's the first day we show it, so I'm very proud, and we are very proud to introduce this press to the market. And with this partnership, we can move this product really forward.
The partnership with Xerox is behind you, but we are here again talking about a collaboration, about a shared project, the one of VariJET 106. Does it mean that partnerships, collaboration are a crucial element to achieve higher goals?
I believe in partnership. And on one hand, Koenig Bauer is a very good example for different partnerships we have in different markets and applications. So we have on one hand, for example, the partnership between Koenig Bauer web-fed solutions with HP in order to build the T1100. So again, one different partnership. Then also on the sheet-fed side, there are a lot of partnerships with different software vendors and also hardware vendors. And for the Koenig Bauer Durst corporation, it's a different thing, because here we really formed a new company. Koenig Bauer Durst is a 50-50 joint venture between Koenig Bauer and Durst, and together we want to get into the digital packaging production on one hand, and corrugated with the Delta SPC 130 the VariJET 170, and now here for the folding carton market, the VariJET 106.
Oliver, we started talking about VariJET 106 in 2016, so it's almost 5 years ago, and a couple of years later, drupa 2020 was looking the official launch deadline, but we know it did not happen. So were you really ready to launch the press at that time, or this extra time, these extra 18 months made some difference?
I would say, Lorenzo, we were prepared to show the press in drupa 2020. The space was reserved, we were ready to go, so everything was in place to show the press, also printing. But let's say this additional year we had to this launch we have now gave us an opportunity to have even a better press. So let's say we expanded or we increased print quality even to a next level. And that what we've seen today, I think, really shows that it was worth to invest this time. We are now entering the beta phase with the press. So this additional time was, I would say, is nice to have, because now we have a more solid press, a better press. We always kept also the TCO topic in mind, and also to streamline this and to talk to our customers what their wishes are, and how we can align the press also better to their needs. But to make a clear statement, we would have been ready to show the press at drupa 2020. This was the development goal. We were on track. We had the press available. The space was there. But this additional time gave us simply more time to improve things.
I'm pretty sure that brochures, data sheets, videos, and marketing materials will explain it very well. But in a nutshell, what is the VariJET?
Well, the VariJET 106, we see this digital printing in folding carton as a complementary technology to our existing product lineup. Koenig Bauer Sheetfed is by far market leader in the folding carton market. We are also perceived as the technology leader in that particular market, and not only that particular market, I have to say. So the digital press gets into this market, and we are really thinking about a hybrid approach. So in the end, getting sheer short run on-demand production, also variable products out of our repeater presses to the VariJET 106 in order to streamline the production on the repeater presses to have a double positive effect by having a nice business model on digital and having more capacity, higher efficiency on the offset presses, which are already installed at customer side. And apart from that, we also think about new stuff we can do on this press. So this is really something where we give our customers an opportunity to be more successful as they already are.
In short, how the system works, how the process works from the feeder up to the stacker.
Well, as you know, we know how to transport paper. And we're using lots of components of the existing repeater 106 lineup. So, for example, feeder and stacker, or feeder and output, is identical to a repeater press. So we know how to get the media inside. Then we have, let's say, the primer station. Our primer station is based on a repeater OPV station, which has the same benefit to be extremely fast and make ready if you want to have, for example, a spot pre-coating if required. And overall, the press, we register the board a couple of times. So once we register on the in-feed, second, we register prior it goes onto the high precision belt which guides the sheets underneath our inkjet heads. And thus we also do an in-register OPV station. We register once more after the condition unit prior goes to the OPV. So this gives us a perfect alignment through entire press, having in-depth quality and also having very high accuracy for the downstream after inkjet processes.
VariJET 106 uses water-based inks, water-based chemistry. Why you went for water-based instead of UV curable or LED UV or different or hybrid solutions?
You know, in the folding carton market, the more or less 60% of the market of the overall volume is in the food market. Apart from that, we have pharma, tobacco, and other markets where food-safe inks are mandatory. To achieve this, we are absolutely convinced that this water-based technology gives us more ability in order to achieve a food-safe product in the end. So first, that means all the water-based inks we have on the VariJET 106 are fully formulated on a Swiss list. They are produced under GMP, as by the way, also the inks we have for our corrugated lineup. So the Koenig Bauer Durst joint venture stands for water-based inkjet solutions, which are food-safe and GMP produced. And apart from that, it's also about contamination and migration of the product. So the Rapida 106 can also be equipped with as a food-safe press. So we're talking about an entire food-safe package for the folding carton industry, because our customers on the Rapida presses, they demanding their food-safe presses, food-safe consumables, and to order to comply to these requirements for the folding carton market, it's the choice going water-based, food approved, and going with a food approvable press.
Koenig Bauer has definitely a leading position in the packaging industry. There are a huge number of companies worldwide that use your Rapida presses to produce folding carton packaging. How many of them do you believe will adopt or are eligible for a VariJET 106? And how many different companies that come from a completely different background, such as online printers, web to pack, or completely newcomers, will approach Koenig Bauer Durst for this new opportunity?
I think we're sitting here in a very good position, because folding carton first is a growing market. Then we have bigger groups dealing in these markets and can concentrate volumes onto a high-performance folding carton press like a VariJET 106. For the online printers, I think it's also a good opportunity, because some of them thinking to widen up their product range with packaging, and the VariJET 106 will enable them also to be very productive on-demand short runs for folding cartons. And as Koenig Bauer, we also have the downstream processes in mind. So we have solutions for die cutting as rotary or flatbed die cutting. We have the folder gluers. So we are in the end a one-stop shop for packaging overall. So we're pretty well set in this. And we absolutely believe into this hybrid approach as digital VariJET 106 be complementary to existing technologies in order to boost the efficiency of our customers.
What's the ideal customer of VariJET 106, and what's the range of print runs for which it is designed?
Well, the TCO is always an interesting discussion about, and we should widen our view from just the printing to the upstream and downstream processes. We just had a question from the journalist panel where if 5,000 prints are more efficient on the Rapida press because it can do 100 prints, or it's more efficient on the VariJET 106. And actually, it depends on different factors. It depends on the upstream process, how streamlined you work with your plate-based process, pre-press processes, or also, let's say, the ink coverage. There's no doubt about it. So some jobs will probably have a higher ink consumption. So therefore, we have a potential lower break-even point to offset. However, we have to keep the entire process in mind. And so therefore, we are prepared doing this. So we have the tools in place, analyzing customer shop baskets in order to find the right solutions for our customers. And from my point of view, Koenig Bauer is in a very comfortable situation. We can really talk to a customer as a trusted advisor, because we have the offset range, we have the digital range, we have both opportunities. There's no reason to convince a customer from either or, because we can really make the assessment which is the best press for our customer, which makes our customer more profitable in the end.
One of the concerns of packaging converters is the possible vulnerability of digital equipment, of inkjet technology in particular, something that may cause faults, downtime, some extra costs. And how did you make the VariJET 106 robust enough to guarantee that it will last for a long time, it will be up and ready every time? How did you conceive, in particular, the routine maintenance, the planned maintenance of the press?
So again, we're utilizing technology we have in the Koenig Bauer and Durst parent companies. So for example, we use technology again out of the VariJET to scan a board. If there is potentially a board which does not comply or violates against the specifications we have on the boards, then we have security to secure the heads into a secure position, let it travel a bad board underneath of it. We also have a kind of a bull bar that in the case of a wrinkle, a board will be forced going underneath the inkjet head without damaging inkjet heads. So this is something we already do in other products, also in a joint venture in other products, and we're utilizing this technology to make the VariJET 106 a very, very high reliable and high performance system. Apart from that, we also encapsulate the entire inkjet array into a climate-controlled area. So this press is designed to work in a heavy-duty offset environment next to other presses. And because of this climate-controlled array design, we are absolutely sure that these have a long lifetime of the inkjet heads, which are basically also part of our service contract we have to our customers. So we provide a full service contract as a flat rate to customers that also includes inkjet heads. So a customer has no reason to worry about head lifetime or something else.
Oliver, when we met in Würzburg, I remember 4 years ago, I took note of it. You affirmed that at that time, offset printing is already extremely efficient and digital printing has opportunities to win outside of just ink on paper, but rather where it helps to make a process more efficient. To what extent this vision, this idea came true today with the VariJET 106?
I have to say it really came true. As I already mentioned, this is a clear statement. Offset today with Koenig Bauer presses is an extremely efficient process. There's no doubt about it. But we see on the other hand, on customer side, even higher diversification, higher demand of also versionized printing, which simply is not that easy with conventional technology, or probably not even possible with conventional technology. And if we have a customer journey through a, let's say, kind of an investment cycle for a VariJET or for digital press, we first always think about cost reduction, be more efficient, and that's definitely true for digital press like a VariJET 106, because if you have, let's say, different versions of a same box having different flavors to be addressed with the press, we can do a flying job change. And it is nice having extremely short make-ready cycles on a conventional press, but it's probably even better having no make-ready cycles and flying job change from one job to another on a digital press. So this goes into the more efficiency. But we're also talking about higher value products where we can embed new features to other or to new products and offer, let's say, customer logos, having sequential numbering, QR codes, barcodes directly printed onto the box without further downstream processes. And this can be produced in line with the VariJET 106. So on one hand, it can be more, or it will be more cost efficient in some jobs or a lot of jobs. And it also enables our customers to introduce new features to their boxes, higher diversification, numbering, versioning, higher diversification, in order to be more successful and to comply also to brand needs, because brands demanding more different flavors, more short runs, and also better inventory management. And that's possible for VariJET 106.
Affirming that the field of B1 digital presses is crowded would be probably not too much honest. So what motivated Koenig Bauer, along with Durst, of course, to continue financing and supporting this project instead of simply selling honestly and quietly your litho presses?
Well, again, it's keeping our customers successful. And at this point, we're selling very well into the litho market. But we see the demand, as I already described, on higher diversification. And the question is, why did we keep on a B1 size? It's about the downstream processes. First, B1 enables us to get paper out of the same stock size as we have it on the Rapida presses. So we keep the substrate logistics from the beginning of the press. And further downstream, we see it on a die cutting process. If we would have built a B2 press, for example, we would then probably have a cheaper press. On the other hand, we would have a bottleneck on the downstream die cutting process, because die cutting is a potential bottleneck. And if we change the format size to half size, we would then reduce our output on the die cutting by 50%. This does not make any sense. So therefore, we comply on the B1 size in order also to give our customers the ability to have the VariJET as a complementary approach to our offset business. Therefore, we made the decision going with B1.
Corrugated packaging, label, converting, and other segments of packaging, for example, have adopted digital printing more quickly, and more confidently. While in the folding carton segment, converters seem more reluctant to change, to hybridize their workflows, and are adopting this technology at a slower pace.
I think it really talks, or it goes about in the upstream processes. So let's say if we deal in a corrugated market where we also successfully sell our presses, the, let's say, main competition is conventional flexo, which is cheap on inks, but very expensive on plate making. So plate making on a flexo press is a pain, to be honest. And these presses are not that highly automated, except the CorruCut we just introduced from Koenig Bauer. And this is a different story, but it's a plate making process, and the plate making is very expensive and it's slow on flexo presses. So introducing their digital is easier to have a successful TCO in many cases. Now on folding carton, I shouldn't say enemy, but we compete with offset. And already mentioned, Sheetfed offset repeater presses are extremely efficient. Plate making is cheaper. So it is not that easy in order to have a compelling TCO to that. But this is the driver for the VariJET 106, because you always kept the TCO model for the customer in mind. So we have very efficient inks, we have very efficient primers, we have very efficient presses with a high throughput, 5,500 sheets. And really this helps us in order to get the share for the VariJET onto our digital press out of the folding carton market.
Let's look a moment behind printing. Die cutting, you just mentioned, and the pre-press and many other steps in the workflow are still a bottleneck, are still considered a bottleneck. To what extent, in your opinion, the so-called digital transformation should affect all the steps, all the different levels of this relatively complex workflow, and to what extent Koenig Bauer Durst is going in this direction?
I think for the die cutting process, Koenig Bauer was well set. We made an acquisition a couple of years ago with Iberica, and Ralf Samig already mentioned there is a new lineup also coming. Apart from that, we have the Cut Pro X as a rotary die cutter for folding carton, so we are well set also in that market. Both of these are conventional presses, not digital. But on the other hand, we see digital die cutting in the market, but the output, the throughput is not that as fast that they can keep up on that production level we see with the VariJET 106 at this point. So as Koenig Bauer, we see well set due to our new developments on die cutting with rotary and flight bed die cutters. On a longer term, I see an opportunity for digital cutting, but then we really think about the size, about the throughput, and the capabilities of these digital things. And I think there's still some time to go for that. But in general, I would see an enabler for the corrugated digital printing as well as for folding carton production, because again, it's about streamlining processes, and not having the necessity of having die cutting tools would streamline the entire process and would be an enabler for digital printing technology in corrugated and folding carton.
Along with the VariJET 106, you are introducing a dedicated software suite that includes the digital front end, the analytics application, the smart shop, and so on. Can you tell me more about this, and what do you believe will be the concrete, the tangible benefits for the end customers?
Again, our principle, taking best in class, and Workflow Plus as part of the VariJET comes out of the Durst universe, I'm going to call it. So Workflow Plus is a very highly capable RIP technology that can also do highly efficient deal with variable data. if required. We have also a nice analytics functionality where we feed data out of the press about, let's say, consumption data and can be forwarded to an MIS system. So this is also part of it. And as an option, you can go to the Smart Shop solution. You can opt for Smart Shop. That would enable you to do web-to-print business. And I think this is also a very intelligent way of doing it, because today a customer has to deal with, just to name a figure, 50 jobs a day. With a digital press like a VariJET 106 or an SPC or a Corrugated out of our portfolio, we have to deal probably with 200 jobs a day. But if you don't streamline your admin processes to deal with these kind of jobs, you have probably an issue by not efficient enough on the upstream process. And Smart Shop, in combination with Workflow Plus, enables you to move these jobs very efficient also on short run on demand through the digital process. So therefore, we're absolutely convinced that Workflow Plus, with the analytics tool, with the option having a Smart Shop, is the right solution for our joint venture products.
For those who are possibly concerned about the, cost, the cost which can go out of control of a job printed digitally. For example, the analytics tool can estimate the cost of the job in advance.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the one of the features of Workflow Plus now, having very efficient cost estimation tools to report back to a customer, okay, this job needs that amount of ink, and leads then into a TCO calculation. That's part of the Workflow Plus seat, which is the scope of supply of a VariJET or a Delta SPC 130, for example.
When do you expect to sign the first orders to deliver the first presses?
We have plans having beta placed this year, but I can't go in detail on this.
Thanks, Oliver, for your time. Thanks for introducing the VariJET 106.
Always a pleasure talking to you, Lorenzo. Thank you.